Hi guys, to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today we're making roasted salmon plaki. Plaki basically is a way of cooking fish in the oven with tomatoes and onions. It's so delicious. It's usually made using white fish. That's very traditional. Actually, I've never had it growing up this way, but I am looking for ways for our family to eat that good fat from the salmon more often. And so I came up with this recipe and it was delicious, so I'm sharing it with you. It's also ready in under an hour, so you really can't beat that. Let's get started. So we're gonna start with the sauce, which requires an onion that's gonna be sliced. So let's peel this first. So cut it in half and then thinly slice each half. I feel like every good recipe starts off with an onion and olive oil. So the onions are going to go inside of a saucepan that's heating over medium-high heat. They're going to get a little sprinkling of salt and about 1/4 cup of olive oil. And they're going to cook until they're nice and soft. That's going to take about 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm just going to grate these 4 garlic cloves so that way they're ready. So the onions are ready. Now we're going to add the grated garlic. And I'm just going to mix them in so they can just warm through a little bit. Next, I'm going to add a can of diced tomatoes. If you grow your own tomatoes and you're making this in the summertime, or if you have access to really good tomatoes, you can grate your own tomatoes. You need about 28 ounces. That's about 800 grams. And since tomatoes tend to be acidic, I'm going to add a teaspoon of sugar. You can do honey, or you can leave it out. It's up to you. I'm also going to add a little bit of black pepper, some crushed red pepper flakes for heat. Leave them out if you don't like it a little spicy, and a little bit of salt. And the sauce is going to cook for about 15 minutes or until it begins to thicken a little bit over medium heat. Okay, so I have a little bit under 3 pounds of salmon here that's been cut into fillets. I'm going to season both sides with some salt and pepper. And I have a 9 by 13 inch baking pan. I'm going to spread half of the sauce on the bottom of the pan, or most of it actually. I'll leave a little bit for the top of the fish. And I'm going to place the fish skin side down over the sauce, over the tomatoes and the onions. And the remaining sauce is going to go over the fish. My oven is preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. This is going to bake on the center rack for about 25 minutes or until the fish is flaky. And I'll show you what it looks like as soon as it comes out. You can also, before it goes in there actually, you can also top it with some olives right now or after it's done. I'm going to also top it with some olives. I like the way olives taste when they're cooked. These are pitted kalamata olives. I'm just going to sprinkle them over top. You can just put them whole on top, or you could have them or cut them into small pieces. It's totally up to you. The fish is ready. It took 25 minutes to be done in the oven. If you want a little bit more color on top, after the 20-minute mark, you could put it underneath the broiler. Let it get nice and golden on top for about 2-3 minutes. Keep an eye on it. I finally chopped some parsley, and I'm just going to sprinkle it over the top for some freshness. And you know what? I was supposed to put some dried oregano in the sauce, and I didn't. I'm just going to sprinkle it on top. Some people say, or traditionally in Greece, they don't usually put oregano inside sauces or inside anything that cooks for a while because it does sometimes get a little bit bitter. It really hasn't happened to me. I don't put that much. So you can put it in the sauce, or you can wait and put it right before you serve it on top. It is ready to be served. The best way to serve this, if you ask me, let me move this aside so I don't get burned because this is still hot, is with some lemon wedges. It just freshens it up a bit, and some toasted bread. But if you want to keep this low carb, of course, you can make some roasted vegetables, a nice salad. Even cauliflower rice would be really nice with this. If you're not worried about the carbs, make some pasta or some rice and serve this up, and you guys are going to love it because that sauce is so good. I'm going to put this in a plate and do a little taste test. So the fish should be super flaky. I'm going to taste it with a little bit of tomato, some onion, and the fish. So much flavor, yet it still tastes really nice and light and fresh. This is delicious as is. All the exact measurements are on the website, dimitrasdishes.com. You can head on over there and get the printable version of this recipe. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link is underneath this video in the description box. And if you're watching on Facebook, it's up on top where the post is. There's a link on there that'll take you right to my website. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. Let me know what you think. And if you have any more recipe requests, post them down below in the comment section. I do read them all, and I add them all to my list, and I get to them one by one. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Yes, us.